Assalamu alaikum students. Today we'll discuss pre-writing techniques. The writing process. I don't know what I think until I see what I have said. I write to find out what I am talking about. So you get to know about your thoughts when you really put them on the paper. The writing process. Great piece of writings are made up of great ideas. So the first criteria of a good piece of writing is innovative and great ideas. Finding those great ideas is the first critical step on the road to good writing. So it's very important for us to go towards certain strategies to find out innovative and good ideas. Learn some popular and effective techniques that will work whether you have an hour or 2 weeks to write your paper. So we need to learn some of the strategies in order to generate new ideas, good ideas, and to be more effective writer. The pre-writing process. No one can just sit down and in one step compose a polished piece of writing. If any one of you think that good writers can write a very good piece of writing just one attempt, you are just misunderstanding. There's a big no for this concept. Actually, writers go through a number of steps as they write. They have to follow certain strategies, certain steps, and then they come to the final draft. These steps or stages make up the writing process. So the writing process consists of many strategies. The way you follow strategies in each of the skill. For example, if you are cooking, you follow strategies. If you are driving, you follow strategies. Yeah, or if you are stitching, you are following certain strategies. Same is the case with the writing process. It's not that you will just take a piece of paper and pen and in first attempt you'll be able to give a good piece of writing. It's not possible. Pre-writing is the first stage in the writing process. So in the writing process, the first stage is pre-writing. It is also the most important and interesting part. It's the most important stage in the writing process, but unfortunately it's the most neglected stage in the writing process as well. Most of the time people think that we don't have time for pre-writing, we'll straight away go towards the writing process, we just want to finish our writing. Pre-writing is perhaps just wastage of time, and this is the biggest confusion, and people underestimate the importance of pre-writing, and that's why in most of the cases they finally ends with a bad writing. The purpose of the pre-writing stage is to find a topic for writing, to collect ideas and information, and to do research if necessary. So pre-writing helps you in many ways. It helps you to find out the topics and then to collect information, new ideas related to that topic, and to research the topic, to organize the topic. It helps you at each and every stage in writing. By the time you have finished writing, a lot of your work has already been done. Actually, 60 to 70% of your work is done if you have done a good pre-writing. Later on, your task is quite simple. You just take the point from your pre-writing and you keep elaborating them. So a lot of your work is already completed if a good pre-writing is done. It's not unusual for writer to spend more time in pre-writing stage than in the writing process. So the expert writers, it's the common practice with the expert writer that they spend more time on the pre-writing stages than the writing stage, because if good pre-writing is done, it means that they have defined their course of action. Now the direction is clear to them, and they are absolutely clear what are they supposed to do. It is also common to return to the pre-writing stage at various times during the writing process when you need to collect more ideas. So pre-writing is not specified, it's not time bound. You can go towards pre-writing stage at any moment in the writing process. Okay, think about your purpose of writing. First thing first, whenever you are given any topic, first of all, you need to be clear about the purpose. If you are not clear about the purpose, rest of your effort and time can be wasted. So be clear about the purpose. If it is external motivation, it means that your supervisor or your teacher has asked you to write something. In that case, there must be certain criteria, certain rules which you need to follow. So you need to be clear about those restrictions. And if it is internal motivation, even then you should set a guideline. You should think about certain course of action to be followed later on. Okay. Determine your goals. Another very important thing to do in the very start is to determine the goal. You need to be clear whether you want to communicate in order to convince someone, to persuade someone, whether you want to communicate to give instructions, whether you just want to give the information. Simply you have to convey the information to the other person, or you want to communicate to build trust. You want to communicate in order to develop goodwill. Once you are clear about your goal, it will help you to modify the tone and style of your writing, and according to the demand of the situation you will modify your writing style. Audience. Knowing who your audience is will help you decide how much information to present and in what manner to present it. Another very important thing to do is to know about the level of the audience. If you are writing to the lay person, your way of communication would be different. If you are writing to the high-tech audience, your way of communication would be different. So you need to know what's the caliber of your audience, and accordingly you need to develop your writing tone and style. Okay, the most important pre-writing strategies which can be followed by a writer are: answer the reporter's question, mind mapping, brainstorming, listing, quick writing, outlining. It's not necessary that you may follow all these strategies. You can follow any one or any two according to your choice, according to the demand of the situation, but you need to follow any of the strategy because it's very important for you if you really want to be an effective writer. Let's see the first strategy: answer the reporter's question. Forming questions can be very helpful to you, and you will come up with good ideas with the help of reporter's question. Just think about your topic and write down any questions that come to your mind. So in the first stage, just take the topic and whatever comes into your mind, just start writing the question related to that topic. Afterwards, you can go back and underline the question that you would like to explore further. So later on, you can underline the important question which you further wants to investigate. Okay, you can see the WH question in front of you. These questions are very helpful to investigate any of the topic, to find out data related to any of the topic. And once you investigate any topic with the help of WH question, there will be less chances that you'll skip any important information. So here I have brought a very interesting activity for you. You should pause the video and you should do this activity, and you should see how WH question can help you in finding the relevant information. And the activity is: you are writing an incident report about an accident in the company's boiler room, which must include the date, location, time, personnel involved, causes, and financial loss. So what you will do, you will not write the incident report right now. You will write down the WH question related to this incident. For example, who was involved, what happened, when did it happen, where it happened, how it happened, and you will see that how WH question will help you to cover this whole incident in a proper way. Let's move towards the next stage, and that is brainstorming. Brainstorming helps you to find out the hardest part of writing, and that is to find the idea and the information related to the topic. The most difficult thing in the writing process is to start it, and brainstorming will help you there. Good brainstorming is an important first step to writing. To brainstorm, think about your topic and write down every idea that comes to your mind. You can either write it down or you can just think, but you need to think about the topic and you need to give time to this process. Don't evaluate your ideas. Brainstorming can be performed either individually or with groups. Variations of brainstorming. You can do brainstorming on the writing, like ideas are coming into your mind, yeah, and you just keep writing all those ideas on the paper. You don't think about whether this idea is relevant or irrelevant, whether it's important or unimportant. You just keep writing, and later on you can underline the important information, the idea which you thought. Or you can think aloud. You can think aloud your ideas. You can go for any of the strategy groups. Another important step which can be done in brainstorming is to do the brainstorming in groups, to take help of your friends, of the people around you. The original meaning of the term brainstorming is just what it sounds like, a storm of brains. It means that now many people, many minds are working together. Okay, not literally, but the idea was that getting a bunch of people together to talk about ideas would produce more and better ones than one person sitting alone by him or herself. It means that group work is more effective than individual work sometimes. That's why most of the time I recommend my students to go for group studies, to go for group discussion, because now many minds are working together and you'll get many perspective, you'll get many point of view related to one topic. Time limit. Some find that a time limit helps the brainstorming process, while others prefer to press on until they run out of ideas. So there is one school of thought who is of the view that there should be time limit for brainstorming, and then the other one think that there should be no time limit for brainstorming, as the thought process can never be stopped. I personally feel that there should be no time limit for brainstorming, and you should keep thinking, you should keep exploring your topic, the ideas at any stage of writing. Okay, I have brought another very interesting activity for you related to brainstorming, and you will see how you get variety of ideas once you discuss any topic with your friends. And the activity is things to do when you are depressed or sad. So you are discussing this issue with your friends and you are taking opinion from different people what they do when they are depressed or sad, and most probably you will get such type of response like one of your friend will say yes, eat, one of your friend eat, the other one sleep, the next one read a book during depression, there is one who go for a walk, someone visits a friend, and there is one who likes to do exercise, someone likes to buy flowers, and another one likes to watch a movie, funny movie, while being depressed. And there is another who likes to buy new clothes, and there is another person who likes to help someone, something for someone else, right? So this is how you have seen that how you get variety of ideas when you discuss something with the other person. So it's an ideal situation to discuss the points, discuss the topic with the friends, with your teacher, with your with the people around you, in order to get variety of opinion. Why brainstorming? You collect different viewpoints. As you have just seen, how you get variety of opinions once you discuss the points. Encourage critical thinking. The most important thing and the most critical thing with the students right now is that they are short of critical thinking. Most of the time they are inclined towards copy pasting, which is obviously very discouraging. Once you open your computer and internet, you get a lot of information, and you just stop this habit of thinking yourself. So once you are going for brainstorming, it will help you to develop your own creative abilities, get you out of your head. Yes, you start thinking out of box, by discussing and by thinking about any point. Builds Brainstorming builds team. Yes, it develops another very important skill in you, and that is teamwork, which is highly recommended, highly required skill by the employers. Let's move towards the next stage, and that is free writing. Free writing is a technique that helps you generate content. Free writing is writing continuously, letting thoughts unconsciously flow, often for about 5 to 10 minutes, without regard to spelling, grammar, style, etc. And no corrections are made. You just keep writing whatever comes into your mind, and believe me, this random writing will give important ideas, new ideas, innovative ideas. There are no restriction on structure or format or length. You can keep writing for 5 to 10 minutes or even more than that. There is no format, there is no specific structure. You are given the free hand to write whatever comes into your mind. Free writing allows you the freedom to discover what you want to write about without worrying about rules or expectations. So I have brought another very important activity, interesting activity for you, and that is quick writing. For example, we ask one person to quick write about television. Here is small part of what he wrote. I don't know what my opinions about television are. I watch a little TV but don't like to watch TV a lot. I really hate it when I go to someone's house and they leave the TV on. I don't know what to write. It makes me feel like they don't want to talk. I think a lot of the TV programs are pretty dumb. They are really a waste of time. It's one thing if a program is really funny. I mean, I'm not against watching TV just for the lengths, but most of the programs are not even funny. There are some, so it goes on. So you see, there are grammatical mistakes, there are disorganized type of sentences, there is no logic sometimes behind the sentences, but in the end you see that you get important information, sometimes important idea, something new which you want to do, and then you can underline them. But give time to your thoughts, to your creativity before consulting internet and all that stuff. Why is it important? It provides you the raw material to help you start writing, right? You get the rough work, you get the new ideas. It helps you to bypass your internal critic who can make it difficult for you to explore your thoughts and ideas. Yes, when you intentionally write something, you are quite critical about your writing style, what you are writing, what you should write. But once you have given free hand to your thoughts and to your hands, it means that now really you are in a position to explore your thoughts, your ideas, your point of view, and that's an ideal situation. It gives you an easy way to begin an easy any piece of writing, and helps you surpass writer's block. And it's the best situation to write any type of topic, to explore it further. It helps you develop your own unique writing voice and promote a solid flow or rhythm to your sentences, right? You get to know about your unique writing voice. What is your natural style of writing? What is your inclination in writing pattern? You get to know only through this free writing. It gives you confidence in your ability to explore a topic, right? Most of the time writing is kind of monster for us, so free writing gives you more confidence as a writer. Let's move towards the next strategy, and that is mind mapping or cluster diagram. Mind mapping allows you to look at your topic from multiple perspectives and then cluster the similar ideas. Imagine a wheel, as you can see here. Imagine a wheel. At the center is your topic. Radiating from this center, like spokes of the wheel, are different ideas about the topic, right? Making a cluster diagram. Making a cluster diagram is a useful way to collect ideas and details to use in your writing. You can also use a cluster diagram to explore different ways to organize your information. I will explain later how to do it. Making a cluster diagram, which steps are to be followed in order to make the cluster diagram. Step 1, write your topic in the center. As you have seen, this is the center, and here you can write down the topic and circle it. Think about step 2, think about your topic and write down any words that come to your mind. Circle each word and connect it to the closest related words in your cluster diagram. Step 3, study your cluster diagram to find ideas to use in your writing, right? So here I have developed a cluster diagram for you. You can see that the main topic is in the start, right? And then the major components related to that main topic, they are connected with the main topic. We don't and here we further divide the component into sub points, right? For example, if you are asked to organize a company picnic, this is how you are thinking about variety of options to make this picnic more successful. Variety of things are coming into your mind, like you are thinking about entertainment, you are thinking about location, you are thinking about schedule, you are thinking about food. So whatever is coming into your mind, you are just writing it. For example, related to entertainment, many options are coming into your mind, like games, live band. In games, you are thinking about football, softball, cricket. So right now, whatever comes to your mind, you just write it. Later on, for example, in games, you can select maybe any one or two. Similarly, in terms of location, if different options are coming to your mind, you can select any one option or two option according to your convenience. So this is how cluster diagram helps you generate ideas, and later on you can encircle the important ideas. So at this stage you can take help to organize the information as well. For example, you have selected the few points here, and now if you have to write a report related to this picnic, and you have to submit it to your supervisor, to your boss, so here you can organize the information as well. For example, you can say, okay, number 1 I'll discuss location, number 2 I will discuss schedule, number 3 food, number 4 entertainment, and so on and so forth. So this is how the cluster diagram helps you in organization of information as well. Another cluster diagram, where I want to buy a good car, and a variety of ideas are coming into my mind. So when I'm thinking about buying a car, I'm thinking about its cost, its safety, and the warranty. So all these issues are to be considered while buying a car. So further we have specified the cost, safety, and warranty. Importance of mind mapping. It works particularly well for visual learners. There are some learners who remember the information when they see the visual of that information. So for them it's the ideal condition, but rest of the learner can also take help from them, and they should also get habitual with the visual, because in this way you remember the information for a longer time. It helps you to see the most important ideas. It helps you to see how ideas are related to each other. It helps you to organize your information. It helps you start to see potential paragraphs forming. Yes, the mind mapping, as I have previously explained, okay, it can also help you in organization of the paragraphs as well. Let's move towards the next strategy, and that is outlining. Outlining is the process of organizing information in a hierarchical list. You have already gathered all the data, all the information is there. Now this is the final stage in the pre-writing process, and that is outlining. You just decide what would be the order of information, which information is to be given in the start, which information should be given in the middle, and how should we end the writing. So once this outlining is done, then what is left? You'll just take the points and you will keep explaining them one by one. Variations of outlining. You can go for like numbers, letters, or bullet points, like number 1 this point, number 2 this point. You could either make a general outline of the order in which you will address your ideas, or you could include details like arguments, facts, quotes, or anecdotes. It's all depends upon how much time you have. If you don't have much time, like you are attempting exam, then you can go towards general outline, like you can just write down the main points or just the hints which you will later explain. But if you have a lot of time, you can write the arguments, facts, quotes, or anecdotes, and later on it will help you a lot in your writing process. The more detailed the outline, the quicker you will write your first draft. After outlining, fill in the gaps. You're likely to find a few holes in your outline, like arguments without enough support, missing examples, or incomplete ideas. So at this stage, you are given all the liberty to fill all the holes. If you feel that any of the important argument, any of the important information, example is missing, now this is the right stage to add the information or delete the information. If any of the information is unimportant, irrelevant, you are given the flexible and the comfortable zone here to add and delete the information. But once the outlining is done and you are doing your final draft, and at that stage you are adding the information and you are deleting the information, so that is not recommended. That would be very frustrating thing for you. So outlining is quite flexible. At this stage you should take all the liberty to add or delete the information. Save your outline. Like all other pre-writing exercises, outlines can inspire new ideas later, even for other writing projects. So save them carefully, and they can help you maybe in some other project as well. Advantages of outlining. Outlining is important because it helps you to see how you could narrow and focus the material to present a convincing logical argument. So it is the biggest achievement by any writer to give a logical and convincing argument, and outlining helps you in that. It makes you more coherent, it makes you more organized, it organizes your information in a more convincing way. There would be hardly any scope of irrelevant information. You would not be repeating any information. So ultimately the end result would be a very good piece of writing. Lesson outcome. After watching this lesson, you should be able to identify and utilize strategies for coming up with ideas for numerous type of essays or any type of writing. It organizes your information in a more convincing way. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next lecture with some other good topic. Until then, bye.